Hey, what's up, everybody? Once again, my name is DJ. Doing what I do on a Monday. Sitting back here. In my office. Chilling, and little tired. Little tired. I ain't gonna lie. But I wanted to go ahead and make sure I put out a video this week. My opinion Monday video this week because I missed last week, and I know I haven't been putting my Fix It Friday videos out. I've been having some little problems with my equipment, but I wanted to make sure I put something out for you today. So what I'm gonna talk to you about today is a subject that me and one of my Facebook friends ended up discussing a little bit last week. Not sure how we came up with the discussion, but the question arises is, what is a martial artist? What is the real meaning of a martial artist? And so, I'm gonna break it down to you. I'm gonna break it down to you. What is a martial artist? Because you need to know these things. And a lot of people think a martial artist is somebody that can punch, somebody that can fight, somebody that can do some judo or karate and stuff like that. Okay, you're wrong. That's not what a martial artist is. It's a small part of being a martial artist, but it's definitely not a martial artist. Okay, I wouldn't consider a lot of people that can punch and fight and do whatever, all those arts, or systems. I won't even say arts. I say systems, martial artists. Okay, so let's break it down. Let's start with the meaning, or let's just go with the meaning of the words. Okay, so let's start with the word martial. Martial, to keep it simple, means war. That's what it means. It means war. So what is the purpose of war? Peace. Okay, the purpose you go into war so that you can find peace. Emi, who came up with Krav Maga, said Krav Maga so that one may walk in peace. That's the end game of a war, so we can have peace. At least it should be the end game of a war. If you read the book The Art of War, the ultimate warrior is one who can defeat his enemies without having to fight. That is the ultimate warrior, someone who can defeat their enemies without having to fight. And that was in The Art of War. Bruce Lee said that a true martial artist is somebody who perfects the art of fighting without fighting. The art of fighting without fighting. So that's what martial is. A warrior whose main objective is to find peace. The word art. The word art is creative expression. Okay, some people creatively express themselves through music, through their writings, through their drawing, through their body language, the way they fight, the way they dance. All these are arts. Is creative expression. So the word martial art or martial artist is warrior creative, or to make it more make more sense, a creative warrior. Okay, that's what a martial artist is, a creative warrior, someone who can find creative ways to defend themselves, or a creative way to not have to fight. That's what a martial artist is, because it's somebody who can find a creative way to not have to fight. Now, let's talk about it a little further. When you first got into martial arts, did you get into martial arts because you want to go kick somebody's ass? Because if that's the case, then you got into martial arts for the wrong reasons. And most people get into martial arts so they won't have to kick nobody's ass. Most people get into martial arts, or at least intelligent people, people who are civilized folks, get into martial arts so they can walk with confidence and not have to get into a situation. That's the reason why you get into martial arts. When a child's parent put him in taekwondo or kung fu, they ain't doing that so he can fight all the time. They do that so he won't have to fight all the time. I know some guys I was coming up with who used to get into a lot of fights and end up going to the local boxing gym, and all of a sudden they ain't getting in a lot of fights anymore. Well, number one, they had more confidence, so they wasn't, people didn't mess with them. Number two, their ego wasn't, they ain't with their ego, wasn't down. They wasn't worried about, showing off in front of nobody because they knew what they knew. And number three, people knew they was in boxers, so they ain't mess with them. So that was a creative way of being a warrior and not having to deal with situations. Me personally, I think a Shaolin monk is a more effective martial artist than an MMA fighter. A UFC fighter, because a Shaolin monk has found a creative way to express itself and not get into confrontations. Where some sports fighters, they get into fights all the time. Some of them, not all of them. Just the ones who don't have no sense. But the other ones, they get into troubles all the time and I wouldn't consider somebody, if you getting in a fight, 3-4 times a year, twice a year or whatever. I mean, you get into an all-out fight, outside of the ring or whatever, a couple of times a year. I don't consider you a martial artist. I consider you somebody who needs to become a martial artist because you're truly not a martial artist. I haven't gotten into a fight in years, because I know how to carry myself. If I had to, I would, but I don't have to because I know how to carry myself. And that's what being a true martial artist is about. Knowing what you know, being able to do what you can do so one may walk in peace. But, then again, that's just my opinion. Do what you do, train what you train, and whatever you do, do the best at it. And make sure you subscribe to my channel because I got more. Peace. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. I got to get out of here. I'm out.